Hi, welcome back. It's turning out to be a really strong session for the market, a strong morning actually. For now, a lot of these metal stocks are rallying hard. Auto ancillaries are looking pretty good because the OEMs are doing well. So names like Amara Raja, Bosch, etc. are the big gainers right now. But the focus today or right now is squarely on the sugar space. The Uttar Pradesh government has kept sugarcane prices unchanged at 315 rupees per quintal. This is the second straight year that the government has kept prices unchanged, and this move is positive for sugar mills. But let's find out more. Vivek Saraugi, the MD of Balrampur Chini Mills, joins in now to give us his view. Mr. Saraugi, good morning and thank you for speaking with CNBC-TV18. No hike in sugarcane prices for another year in a row. How would you take this?
I would see a lot of pragmatism in this, and actually we had requested for some rebates, but that didn't happen. So even if you see, last year was an election year, which was national election, Lok Sabha. Even in that year, the cane price was not hiked. And this year also, it's remained status quo. So it is the sign of, reading the economic signs correctly. And there is a surplus, so there is just no case for hiking the price.
Okay. Sensex has hit a record high, Lata. So, I mean, it hit yesterday as well, but today also it's hit a fresh all-time high.
And even the Bank Nifty pretty close,
Bank
actually.
Nifty is pretty close.
32,180, isn't it?
Yes.
The prevailing high. And we are at 171.
Yes. Nifty has some unfinished business, but should get there.
That is 158.
159, 158.8, I think. But anyway, Sensex has hit an all-time high. Vivek, hi, good morning. I just wanted your thoughts on, the outlook for the industry and pricing, because I believe the output has declined quite a bit up until November. So if you could give us some information on that.
Yeah. So, Anu, slowly positives are building in terms of reducing the overhang, but the overhang is large in terms of a very large inventory. So we have a 14 million odd closing stock, that is as on 1st October. In this year, Maharashtra is looking lower, and ISMA's, Sugar Mills Association's prediction on this year's output is 265 lakh tons. Consumption should be in the 260 range. So if we are able to export about 5 million, hopefully the stock should come down to about below 10 million.
Okay.
One. And two, we are seeing a global rally also in the sugar prices. So this export, which is to leave India, should go comfortably.
Actually, that was going to be my next question. Can you give us, quantify that global position? We also heard that sugar prices are rising.
So you see, there was a time when global prices were around 12.3 cents. It's gone to about 13.3 cents. So the factors which are playing out, crude is holding out. The Brazilian real, which has collapsed, is strengthening. I think it's a factor of their thing and the overall dollar weakness. And overall, there is a shortage. I mean, low production in India, low production in Thailand. The EU area is not higher. Brazil is status quo. So this year, the global production and consumption, there should be a deficit on the current year's mathematics.
Okay.
So slowly positives are building in there also.
So what does all of this mean for your own business? In Q2, you were sitting on a base of around 750 crores just for the sugar business revenues, but that was a fall of 15% year on year. But looking ahead, what do you see as the second half of the year? How will it shape up?
So you see, I had attempted to clarify, and let me do that once again. The fall in revenue is not in our hands, because we are going through an MSP, which is minimum selling price, and a restricted sale regime, which is absolutely in order in the current scenario. So the fall in revenue is not our doing, but yes, this would pick up is the assumption. And in our business, we are very bullish on the ethanol part. Our distillery, which was targeted to go on stream on the 1st of January, should go on stream a couple of days before that only into commercial production. We are bidding for the B heavy, C heavy, both ethanol, and sugar recoveries are doing well. Our crushing has begun, it's doing well.
Okay.
So we look forward with caution, optimism.
Okay, Mr. Saraugi, you're certainly a good luck charm for the markets. When we started the conversation, the Sensex hit an all-time high, and now the Nifty Bank has hit a record high. This is a little more reassuring because yesterday the Nifty Bank started with the record high in the first 10-15 minutes, and then it was sold into. Today, the early morning gain was sold into, and then it has steadily risen. So anybody who bought an early morning trade is still in the money. That usually makes for a trending higher market, but we are still in early hours within the first 1 hour of trade. In any case, this is positive, and I think the Nifty itself is within inches of hitting all-time highs. It's at 12,125, so that's about 30-35 points from an all-time high. Maybe if we kept Mr. Saraogi a little longer, we could get that record as well. So, Mr. Saraogi, well, the next question to you really is what kind of an MSP are you expecting? What could be the break-even price?
So the MSP, I don't think will change anymore. It is 31, and which means for UP average is about 33, because this means Maharashtra 31. However, currently prices are around 32, and that is par for the course, because we've just begun our crushing season, and during this period, next 2-3 months, it should stay here. So the pricing trajectory, if you're looking for a prediction there, the call is it should be average. For if you sell this year's production, 33 average is good. We know the ethanol business. We are in court for the power business, which the prices have reduced by the UPERC. We've already taken a write down on that in our accounts, and only things could get better on the power business from here.
So on the power business, any timelines that you're expecting? I mean, do you expect the government to revise the prices anytime soon?
No. See, first of all, let's understand we are in court against the order. We expect the hearing to happen in January. So if we get any, positive order from the court, the government will be duty bound to do it. And we're hopeful there.
Of course. Only that seems to take time. What's your debt now, sir?
So see, we in Balrampur see our debt very separately to, how people see. So our long-term debt is the debt which is there from the government, which is that 300 odd crores from UP government, and similarly from the central government, which does not bear any interest, the central government loan. State government loan carries a 5% interest, and outside of that we basically have cash credit borrowings, which is against the stocks.
Okay, so there isn't any open debt outside the government debt?
No, nothing.
All right, that puts you in a comfortable position. Thank you very much, Mr. Saraogi, for being with us and taking us through various facets of your own company and the sector. It looks like it's the start of a rise in sugar prices, and usually these things last for about 3 years. Mr. Saraogi, if you're still there, we follow this 3-year cycle in sugar prices. Are we at the start of a new cycle where we will see uptrend for 3 years?
No, let's understand. We have enough inventory in our hands.
Okay.
So if we get another season of this kind of low production, then you see that trend.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay, fine. Let's hold our horses. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. And we'll wind up this conversation by looking at the last 3-year financial performance of Balrampur Chini. First, you'll get that's the revenue trajectory. Okay, shaved off a bit in FY19. Remember, this is up till last year, okay? And that's the profit after tax, did well last year. And then you will have the peer comparison in terms of valuations coming up for you. Okay, valued better, Balrampur Chini. Obviously, it's got much lower debt than the others, and that itself gives it a princely valuation. That's on sugar, but I think the sweetness is in the market.
So yes, the market is, the Sensex is at all-time high, so market is at all-time high, Bank Nifty is at an all-time high. And now let's see if we can have the Nifty also hit a new all-time high. That's been the missing piece in the puzzle. Mitesh Thakkar is joining us back with his trades. So Mitesh, today clearly it's a buy trade which has worked out. What's the call now on the index? Carry longs, and what would be the trailing stop loss in that case, and what are your stock calls?
So Anuj, I think primarily we've been waiting for a decline to take fresh longs on the index, but that's not happening. I think it looks like we might actually get past 12,150 this time and head towards 12,280, 300 levels. So I think the next trade which might occur on the Nifty would be beyond 12,150. By then with a 30-40 point kind of a stop and look for a 130 point kind of an upside. And I think it's the IT stocks which are clearly high on my list. I think. You can clearly see the momentum happening in stocks like Infosys, Tech Mahindra, etc. That apart, the calls which I have for the moment, I have a buy on Vedanta with a stop at 145 for targets of 158. While Shriram Transport Finance, I think that's a stock which is trading on the weakish side. So sell with a stop at about 1096 for declines to about 1040-45 levels.
A couple of these names are hitting new highs. The Bajaj twins have been on fire of late. The Bajaj Finserv is at a fresh high right now at 9321. So, just keep that in mind. It's a 45% gain that Bajaj Finserv has seen this year. And the market cap is now almost 1.5 lakh crores. Mitesh, Bajaj Finance and Finserv, purely for the day. Any calls here?
See, in fact, between the two, I think recently the focus has shifted to Bajaj Finserv. That's made a fresh high. The indicator setup is slightly more stronger over there. So if I was to choose, and in fact, if I was to trade, I would trade a Bajaj Finserv with a stop below 9250. I think the next targets could be close to about 9550, 9600.
Okay, Mitesh, thanks a lot for joining us. Well, some anecdotal data is never wrong, and the markets hit a new all-time high today. And just looking at some more names which are really helping the market today, apart from metals, Infosys, Maruti is also, of course, at the high point of the day. There's some contribution now from ITC. Now, this GST meeting tomorrow, and ahead of that stock was almost at 52-week low. But there you're seeing some interesting action now. So 1% higher on that stock as well, right?
Yeah, I think the buzz is veering around to there not being any rate changes just yet. Maybe it will be a discussion for another year, but perhaps not immediately. That will be a major relief for ITC for sure. On that note, we take a break with the market on a high. We're going to come back and speak to another banker. We're going to be joined by Murali Ramaswamy, Executive Director, Bank of Baroda.